whole world takes nuclear weapons very, very seriously, because the only use of nuclear weapons in world history was in the month of August. We are in the month of August, and on the 6th of August 1945, 9th of August 1945, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. To this day, the whole world remembers the seriousness of this issue. So, nuclear weapons are not war fighting weapons. It must be emphasized and underscored that these are political weapons. These are weapons only to deter an adversary from a nuclear blackmail of threat of use or actual use. And all the world's nuclear powers today, those states which have nuclear weapons, subscribe to one or the other doctrine. And when we look at those doctrines very, very carefully, it's not that Field Marshal Asim Munir does not know the nuclear doctrine of Pakistan. For example, India is a no first use power. So, in fact, is China. But Pakistan has always been ambiguous about the nuclear doctrine, except to lay out in the public domain. And this has been done by Pakistan's foremost strategic expert on nuclear weapons, Lieutenant General Khalid Kidwai, during various speeches he has made in his career over the last 25 years. And he has been the head of the Strategic Planning Division for Nuclear Weapons Employment in Pakistan for about 15 years or so. So he has laid out these thresholds, and I think this is what he was meaning. Asim Munir said that if we go down, we will take half the world with us. But in other words, he was indirectly referring to what are called the red lines or the nuclear thresholds of Pakistan, that if those thresholds are crossed, Pakistan may be tempted to use nuclear weapons. And those thresholds, as per Khalid Kidwai and Pakistani leaders over time, are firstly, if Pakistan is in an existential state where Pakistan state ceases to exist. If there is an economic strangulation of Pakistan, like the taking out of Karachi port, or the military in Pakistan is demolished completely and is no position to do any war fighting. Or these kind of are the threshold. And if you have noticed, India employed force very discreetly. None of these thresholds did it approach even by 1,000 miles. And I know how nuclear weapons come into play in a conflict and at what stage. Diplomatically, India has and must continue to project these Pakistanis' views globally, to say how saber rattling is being done in a situation of very tense relationship, bilateral relations between India and Pakistan, where accidentally or inadvertently the two countries may get into use of force situation, as happened in Baisaran, and then the escalation ladder is climbed by both sides, and one power of the other has to control that ladder. So, in that sense, firstly, India itself shouldn't do saber rattling. I'm afraid we have also tended to mimic Pakistani political and military leadership. Our military leadership has been, by and large, very responsible, very statesmanlike, and has never indulged in saber rattling. But our political leaders sometimes have used expressions like, "Our missiles are ready." These kind of these are instances, minor as they may appear, but they sort of convey a signal to the other side. The second point is that the higher the conventional capabilities of India, the greater is the chance of nuclear weapons not coming into them. Nuclear weapons are not used just like that. You get up from the wrong side of the bed and you feel like targeting your adversary and use nuclear weapons. As you know, your viewers know nuclear weapons are political weapons. I just said. Secondly, the weapon, the core of the weapon, which is a nuclear one, and the larger weapon in which it is encased they are demated. They are not together. Actual nuclear weapon is in place A. The missile on which the weapon will be mated is at some other place. Yeah. And then there is a three principle rule. One person can't decide the nuclear weapon use. Three people have to actually sign. This is also by and large the case with Pakistan. So those are the military means your survivability, because ours, India, is a nuclear no first. We will not use nuclear weapon first. We will actually receive a nuclear weapon. We are ready to do that. If an adversary makes the mistake of using a nuclear weapon, breaks down the deterrence which exists between two countries, that if you use the nuclear weapon, my strike on you will be so large, so monumental, the damage will be so unacceptable that it will persuade you not to use nuclear weapon in the first place.